Yeah, I think it's easier to make the calls earlier in the election cycle. I did a lot of phone banking for a House district candidate, and the people that I talked to for that were really quite friendly and okay with getting the calls. But the closer it got to the presidential election in 2012, the more angry people started to get because they had oversaturated the market. Part of the problem there was that there was a lot of crisscrossing. So you had the Romney campaign calling the same people that the local candidates were calling, that the county GOP was calling, that the precinct leaders were calling, and so you had all of this duplication. And so by the time it was the day of get out the vote, I mean, I had people screaming at me.
And they really should do something about the duplication. I mean, seriously, they need to coordinate in neighboring districts and all that stuff. Fishy has something to say.
About that specifically, I have some really interesting news that I got. I went to a press conference for our local party with our new chairman. The state chairman was there. The county judge was there, who's sort of coordinating some of the campaign joint efforts. And the guy that's running for my House district was there, and he knows me, and we talked. We go back quite a few years. And he was telling me about the change this year in the way things have been done. It was interesting. They've been doing a state party led series of block walks and door knockings around the state. The state party has been putting the list together and doing that, and they walk for for the governor's candidate, Greg Abbott, running for governor, and whoever's in the local district. So they're hitting multiple candidates with one walk, attempting to hit more people fewer times, I suppose, but for multiple candidates. Another thing he told me that was really neat that was being done, they were having phone banking for the same way. They were running it for the governor's candidate, the governor's race, and for a local candidate. And when they would do phone banking, they've cross-cooperated between counties even around here. So that where I live is right next door to the county south of us, and that county's office has been working with our county's office, and they put up a satellite in my neighborhood, right around the corner from my house. The great thing about this is when one office would have not enough phones for the people that were there, somebody would go to another office, grab the phones, and bring them where they needed to go. And when there was electricity that needed to be turned on in the office, and it needed to happen immediately, one of the candidates wrote a check for it himself. This is cross-communication and cooperation like I've never seen, and it's really exciting, and they're doing some of that in a way that is going to alleviate some of those problems, hitting those people multiple times with different campaigns and nobody knows what the others are doing. I'm really excited to see that on the ground here.
Well, and that seems like more high-value contacts, because if you actually are able to get me to come to the door and you talk to me about the governor, the lieutenant governor, my state senator, my state reps, some of the federal races, and about all of these things, then you're more likely to, A, remind me that I need to go vote, remind me to vote for everybody, and get me excited about it, and then, wow, I'll be so impressed with that level of communication, I'm kind of likely to mention it to the folks that I work with.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also it excites the volunteers, because having coordinated volunteers, I can tell you their biggest frustration is the lack of organization. And they get frustrated because they see other people doing the same work that they're doing, or they see a lot of gaps in the process, and they just think, why am I wasting my time? So if you can coordinate with multiple candidates, cross counties, etc., that is the best thing you can do for getting good volunteers who don't get burned out super fast.
We always use that phrase that it's amazing what you can get done when you don't care who gets the credit. This is sort of that thing. If a candidate writes a check for the power, is anyone going to know about that until they look at his campaign finance reports? No. But the guy got it done, and those people were out there working not just for him but for other candidates. Amazing. I'm still floored at the news at how well this coordination has been working, and I think it's truly a function of leadership.
That's amazing. I wish that we had that kind of stuff happening here in New Jersey. I mean, we're a tinier state. We should be able to figure out how to coordinate. We need to coordinate better. But I would love to hear. What's up, Andy?
There's only 2 of you Republicans. Why can't you coordinate?
We just don't like each other. It's really hard. I mean, Chris Christie's in Trenton. I'm here. It's just like
yeah,
we never see each other. It's real tough.